I'm built different. I bought some at 549 and a bounce right off 549, extreme bounce, support buy right here, down nearly half a percent, up half a percent, basically a full percent there. You can see me selling at 560, perfect sells. You can see me buying at 549. And then now we're just still dollar cost averaging, same technique. Just dollar cost averaging the main positions and keeping myself not overly in the trade, in the swing trade, in the investment. And by doing that, I'm able to have a lot of cash on the sidelines to buy the dip when it does go down, not if, but when it goes down, and not if, but when it goes up, I want to have some money in there as well. So I want to always have a small position, or something that you're able to tolerate with your risk level. But I've been doing this for a handful of years, so everyone's tolerance is lower. Example, maybe you have $1,000. I wouldn't go in with 800. I would go in with 200, 250, and then the rest of it dollar cost average. And when there's good deals, buy the discounts a little bit more, and just, you got to be patient, follow the video, follow the channel. I literally just correctly dip bought and called out the last 3 to 4 in a row without missing dip buys and a lot of the sells that needed to be sell at on VOO or the S&P 500 SPY. And that's one way of making money. I could have been doing that on Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, although the swings are a lot more volatile and the risk of losing money and the uncertainty is different. And not all of those are at the same pace. Some of them are overbought, some of them are oversold. But it's not looking bad here. I was down a low of 2,300, now only 3,300. $1,000 difference, not a big deal. It's just a few percent when it comes to my portfolio. I was down only 5%, which is pretty great. And now only 7%. I'm at the 9 to 5 right now. That's why the 9 to 5 to millionaire in the title here. Buying power, 18.1K. 18.1K. We're getting about 18.5 that we just had in here. Spent a few $100s on some little bit of on dollar cost average into Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, and VOO. As you can see, that 349 buy at 560 right here, or at 549 exactly at 8 a.m. sharp. 549. That was kind of seemed like the low of the day. So if you haven't been in the market for too long, it'll take you a minute to realize, but basically there's a lot of seasons where there's tons of energy in the market, you can say, around 7 a.m., around 8 a.m., and then 10, 11, and then it kind of just fades off. And then usually, the time to get in, the dip buy, could just be a decent buy if you buy at the end of the day. You don't even have to watch the markets all aggressively. Although you can, and you might reap more benefits because the end of the day might not be the buy. The buy might be the morning low, the morning support buy. You gotta dip at where did it drop this morning so quickly? 549. Go on the week chart. 549 is right about here. Tons of support here. Yeah, want it to stay above this line here, I suppose. Okay, they're trying to make the other. Okay. Yeah, it's going to complete this and probably go back to chopping up in the short term. It looks good. But whatever it does, we will be prepared for it. Up nearly 4%. Took profits in previous videos if you saw those. On the 18,000, I mean, it's like $60 a month in interest, all the getting paid out. If I keep that in there, I don't think I'm going to keep that in there for even a month, but because I might need to use it. We don't know what's going on. Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. This is that position. Tesla. This is that position. Tesla's, nice right now, but price wise. But I do want to get some, because when I go on the 5 year, it's not VOO. You can't treat certain other stocks like an ETF because they're not ETFs. Got to treat them like individual stocks, what they are, and it's very similar with the way that you look at it. Although the volatility could be extreme. And if I'm buying even here at 110% in the past year, starting from 185 a share, I would say, the base is, 357, 380. We're at 388. Base is 350. Even 350 is 20% down from here, and we're down, pretty heavily from highs. Just on SPY alone, 160 to, you could be down 50% if you bought at the peak and you kind of just aped it. But that's why we DCA, and you should have only, been buying with maybe 5%, 1% of your portfolio, if not less than the 5%, just 1%, 2%, whatever. Very, very low DCA, something you're comfortable with, until you saw some consolidation and, before you think there's really time to come back up. But right here, this is good that we're seeing, not weakness, but we're seeing sideways movement. And the fact that 380, 375, 380 is holding is good, because they know the next step down on Tesla is 350s. And I don't think they want to go there. It's pretty low. What is that? That's just on the 1 year chart, looking at this off my back of my hand, roughly 105% to 85. So roughly 25% or so, 80, 20, 30%. It's not good of a fall. And if you bought up here, you're donezo. For the short term, hopefully you're a long term. But even if you're a long term, let's buy low, sell high. When I look at VOO, it tells me a different story. Extremely bullish, and on the 1 year, there's a lot of consolidation periods and strong dips, and every decently strong dip gets bought up, and that's why I decided to do that here. Trim some here, bought the dip here, trim some here, and then I bought the dip again here, and I trimmed some here, and then trimmed some here at the top, and then now we're back down to 550. Which is basically the resistance right here, and we're most likely going to try to consolidate. And we could go back to the 537s, 538 area. I think that's very possible. Hit 540 again, but we could also make new highs over 560. But if we go to 540, then I will be buying more shares, of course, and I'll have money to buy more shares because I'm not buying it up here. I already have some. I was patient. I bought some at 334, 335, 336. My average is 332.65. That's after selling some. And everyone manages their portfolio and their stocks, and they know the patterns differently for their different stocks. Although I believe the ETF VOO or SPY, same thing. You can see here on the 5 year what it looks like on the 5 year. Blink real quick. Blink, blink. Okay, 5 year, that's what it looks like. And then SPY. Oh, not soy. SPY. Same thing. 5 year. Same thing. Looks the same. Just price is slightly different. The yearly, I think there's a tiny fee, is a lot cheaper than what it is now. Than what's in SPY. Dodge was up like 15-20%, and now it's down like 6.5%. There's $350 in here. That's a long-term hold. They just wanted to have 1,000 of Dogecoin just in case it goes to $1. Turn $350 into like $1,000 maybe. Who knows? Bitcoin looking pretty manipulated as well. Cool. Same thing as okay, up 10% though on that $126 when I bought some at 92K. XRP. It's up like 250%, but I was just trimming it, and I took like $200 profit or something, a couple $100, I don't know. And let's see the history here. $200 at 1.4 I was selling. Sheesh. But yeah, I got a pretty good average on there. But you can see how there's a little in there for a reason. But that's pretty much it. That's the portfolio. That is for January 28th, 2025. This is the new year, and we're going to see where we're going to be. You know, when you come back to this video, hopefully we're in a better spot. We're not in a bad spot. Well, we're not great because we're not even yet. Although, when I say we, I'm just talking about me and myself. Just, you know, my conscious and my subconscious, I suppose. Just going off of the market right now, still in volatile times, but we're still, you know, we're probably in a consolidating period. We're still bullish. We're still extremely bullish. We're at all-time highs. You know, what am I saying? We're at all-time highs. We're very bullish still. All this is bullish, and you know, once you start seeing a downturn like this for a large period, you know, now you're in a consolidating market or a crashing market in the short term. Same thing with the larger term here. Once it's like a long time, like around 10 months, you know, average bear market is 10 months. And, you know, I mean, if you can hold to that 10 months, then I mean, if you've been buying this dip, your line is going through here, and at the end of the road, you're kind of like boom, boom, boom. You're buying this, and you're averaging out. You know, averaging the S&P 500 or VOO, and Vanguard, which is State Street, BlackRock. They own about 90% of everything in the world. Companies, Kraft. I don't know if they own Kraft, but they're with food companies. They got their hands in a lot of plates and bowls, you know. What's Walmart doing? Oh my goodness, Walmart's looking good. Jesus. Type in the comments if you have some Walmart. I had it at $59. Wait a minute. Probably make a profit there. 60 plus. Shit. It's up like 60% if I would have held that. Okay. Let's look at the Roth IRA that I haven't been adding to. Have not been, because you know, I put 1,600. I don't really want to add more. I can only take it out when I'm 65. I don't know about that, buddy. But to each their own, you know, it might not be a bad idea. The peak goes up 100%, but it shows 80 here. Pretty cool. All time, still up nearly $1,000, 50%, whatever I put in here. And that's just from buying some Tesla and just leaving it in here. And this position was down for a while, and it was flat for a while, and it was at 212 and 220. I bought a little bit more, and yeah, it's up 77%. And it's down. So like maybe you bought up here, you're kind of, well, I'm down on the stock. What do I do? I'm not down. You gotta be patient, man. It's not about what do I do. It's about why are you asking yourself, what do I do? You should know exactly your plan before buying the stock, the shares, or the option, anything. Before doing anything, you should know what's the worst that can happen roughly. What's, you know, and what does the upside kind of look like? Where should I probably trim? Where is the downside? What's the danger? What's the extreme danger? What's the short term? What's the long term danger? What's it looking like? You gotta do a quick analysis. Not even just quick, but you gotta, you know, you can't just be a NPC, or you're not gonna have an edge in the market. The edge is to play on the house, play with the house. The stock market is the house. Well, the S&P 500 is. The stock market, general stock market, VOO. Oh, that's not for me. No, that's good. So that's, you know, that's a part of the basics is just to be patient. Stock market's a time weighing machine. Transfers money from the impatient to the patient. It's a quote from Warren Buffett. He is one of the best investors in the world, and not only because of that. You know, when he was a kid, he was making money with gumball machines. He grew up in a different time. You know, he bought some stock, it exploded. He just kept buying more and more and more, and he just made insane amounts of money. And as he got really, really old, you know, after 20, 30 years, not really old, but after 20, 30 years, you know, 40 years, your investments and the compounding will go insane. The average person putting in $500 a month for 30, 40 years, it'll be millions. For some people, if you do it right, maybe even $1,000 a month, they can be in the tens, 20, 30 million. Like, you can make insane money. And especially if you catch the bull runs, and if you're buying the dips, you're not making 10% a year, 15% a year. You can make 40% a year if you actually have some skill, if not more. And how do you do this? It's just education. It's already been done. It's being done. They're doing it right now. I'm doing it right now too. Different techniques. Some of them work. Some of them don't. Which ones should you do? The obvious ones. If you have a ton of money, run the wheel strategy. You can Google that, or check out my channel, watch the other videos. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. It's going to help you out. It's completely free. But swing trading ETFs like SPY is what I like doing. I love Tesla. I used to be 100% Tesla long time before this channel, and you know, I'd be up probably 100% or so. I was a Tesla maniac, you know, around 200, 180s, and even 165. I remember this dip here, and you know, I didn't really know where it was going to go. You know, it's down pretty bad. Is it going to go down to, you know, the 129s? You know, it did go down here, 123. It was so fast. Most people didn't catch it. I didn't have the money. I already, you know, overspent. I wasn't as you know, cautious, overly invested at the wrong time, bought the wrong times, and it's easy to lose the opportunity to lose money. There's things going on everywhere, but I'm going to put my money on the fastest, safest, strongest horse that's been doing it. I'm not going to put it on maybe Bitcoin or something. Could do some crazy gains, but I'm just going to put it on VOO SPY because it's, you know, Bitcoin's been around for 15 years. U.S. economy, it's different. And U.S. economy, this is like not just one company. This is not one coin. It's not a commodity. This is top 500 companies. Even if the top, you know, dozen companies in SPY are really the ones that are carrying it, doesn't matter. They're still carrying it. They still have the monopoly. These guys are still winning. If they want to manipulate it down, yes. If there's going to be a market crash, okay. But most of these pullbacks are just pullbacks. They're just medium, short-term corrections where the dip bot should be, you know, cautiously, you know, taken. None of this financial advice. I'm just talking to myself here. Although, if you just follow the basics with the stock market, you will win over the long term. Although, again, you will not win if you don't focus on the basics. If you try too many things, too much, you know, especially if you're doing it with large portions of your portfolio, assuming that you're just going to get lucky and win on some options or win on a swing trade, you're probably not. So make sure you know the extreme downside of the position. I bought a bunch at, you know, I have $14,000 at 533, but I have $18,000 in cash. So I'm able to buy the dip in case it goes down, but I also have money in here in case it goes up. And 533, I was just looking at previous support levels and whatnot. I was patient. I just bought the dip till the bottom, and that was it. Just textbook basics. You can see it here. Just happened. I just followed it. I posted a video every day, nearly every day, and I just showed you guys me doing it. And yeah, now it's out of that channel, out of the bottom channel. Now it's back to bullish, back to being overbought, and that's it. It's just back to the basics. what's going to do now? Okay, it's probably going to, it's either going to break out back to highs because it's, you know, very bullish, or it's going to complete the pattern here and, you know, go back to like 538, 540. Probably closer to 542, 543. But it might go back to 540s. I mean, it could. That's a 3% drop roughly. A little bit less than 3%, but a little bit less than 3%. All-time highs is 5, 3, 4, 5, 2. Yeah, 2-3% dip by, it's very possible. But right now, you know, we're only, we're about 2% or so from the highs. But maybe, yeah, 1%, because 553 minus 1%. Oops, 1%. 547, it's very possible. 546, I think, is a good support. 545s. Show you right here. There's 547 right there, but the 545 area is a major support, it seems like, because this is where, you know, there's resistance, so this should be the support. You can see here 545 as well. And 545, it blew through that. Then 545, it busted above it to 550, 549, as you can see here. And the resistance is 550, 550, 553. We're making a higher high than this resistance here. We want to show that we're bullish, although it's you know, it's good that we're above the resistance here. Although it can still, you know, pull back and break around, but you want to buy at the bottom, towards the bottom of the channel. The bottom of channels right now is about 530 to 540, and we're in the 550s again. We were just in 560. We just hit 560 all-time high on VOO, or if you look at S&P 500, you can see the different price, but it's the same thing on the chart. As I said previously in the video, hope you're paying attention. Some of the previous buys, previous sells. You get the point. So, hope you have a great day. Take care. Like, comment, and subscribe. Watch the other videos and the shorts.